Om Namah Shivaya, divine beings. Om Namah Shivaya. Mahasivaratri celebrations of our inner journey. As we walk through into the light, we understand that realities around us sometimes seems warped. It's like headed into the light, and all of the past karmic patterns, as in relationships, as in realities, popping up to create resistance for us to reach that light. But the moment we have reached this light and switched it on, there's no more of the darkness, no more of the karmic realities, no more of that resistance. This event is in us utilizing the seven elements to allow our tapasic sacred fires dissolve away our weaknesses, our challenges, reset our relationships, enhance the vibrations of all around us, and for us to be in the states of sacred unions and in the realms of the states of Turiya, the supermind, the supreme consciousness. But as we journey within, we realize all of our past as the only obstacle that deters us. So it goes back to the story of my life experience when I was a seeker, the story of Guru Ayya. Guru Ayya Narayana meditated on the nearly right on top of the peak of Arunachala. It wasn't even a cave. It was just a ledge on which they built around him using sticks and wood, a canopy that served as a cave. He remained in the Malasana posture, the squat posture, for 18 years, drinking just a cup of milk a day. He didn't move. When I had gone to see him, it was his 6th year. And it was supremely powerful to be in his presence. And all we had to do was take his mantra, go round and round and round, and his helpers would say, you do not need to physically ask Guru Ayya for anything. Just think of what you want, and that will happen for you. Now, as I kept going up the mountain, each time I so desired Guru Ayya to call me inside and give me his initiation one on one. Although it was an initiation just climbing up the mountain and receiving his sacred, namam, the um, the blessings of the forehead. But I needed and wanted to be called by him inside. On one occasion, during those challenging times when all I had was my gurus and my inner self as a seeker, and I was holding Guru Ayya as the only reality that I ever had. My gurus were my reality. So I climbed up the mountain with the Arunachala mountain with about 15 kilos of camphor because Ayya stays up all night long. He wouldn't sleep. So I thought that would serve, that would help him go on and on and on creating the sacred fires. And I brought a lot of fruits because about 30 to 50 people come up the mountain to see him. So I bought fruits so he could have it for himself and distribute it. But when I took it up to Guru Ayya and his helper took it in, Guru Ayya said, whoever gave this, ask him to take it back. It was a hard rejection. On a soul level, I felt so broken. It could have been from anyone else, anything else, but not Guru Ayya. I was so brokenhearted. And at that point in time, his attendant tells me, Ayya tells you to take the camphor, take it, walk a few steps up, right to the peak of Arunachala, and to light it. So I lit the camphor bit by bit by bit by bit and went on. And that's when I felt all my trauma, all that was hurting me, all the people who hurt me and whom I had hurt, all the trauma of this life. And then I began to step into all other lives. I just felt that I needed so much to clear out. And I found myself in tears. I found myself going through the agonizing pains. I also did find myself in ecstasy, but everything was to be burnt out. And I went on and on and on. And 2 hours later, the rock on which I had created this camphor fire cracked. And that was the last camphor I had put in. And the moment I had done that, and the moment it had cracked with a loud noise, Ayya's attendant comes and tells me, Ayya's calling you. I go and stand. And from inside the cave, his canopy, Ayya says, now take your fruits and distribute it to everyone. And when I distributed it, I realized I needed to clear my vibrations. And that's why Ayya put me through that ordeal. And yet I was still not feeling complete because Ayya had not called me inside his cave. And I would keep climbing up the mountain. And one day, similar period of time of Mahasivratri with the fasting. In the morning, I was in Bangalore. And I felt Ayya come to me in my meditation saying, pack your bags, come now. So my first question to Guru Ayya was, How do I know you are real? How do I know this is a real invite? He said, ask me any question. So I asked him, why do you sit in the squat posture, the Malasana posture, not the Padmasana posture? All the Tibetan tantrics, Marpa, Milarepa, Naropa, all of them sat in the squat posture, the Malasana posture. Why do you sit this way? And he answered me saying that the moment you wake up, you consider your body a shirt, and you really don't want to be in the body. And when you sit in any other posture, it's easy for you to leave the body and go. But when you sit in a Malasana posture, you have to bring yourself back into the body. And to be able to lift your consciousness from the roots up above the navel, to be the spirit. And you use your knees to put your underarms underneath them and regulate your breath. So in this way, this posture holds efficacy in your journey, the Siddha journey of being awake. Now, in these moments, I wish to share with you the process of us cleansing and healing our past. When Gautama Buddha mentioned human realities going through the human is pains and suffering, he was mentioning about all the trauma that we face again and again, and all the realities that comes to complete us. Where the light of consciousness is, we are whole and complete. We are abundant in all the forms, from all where the need is. We are abundant on every level. And yet, it is the past and the mind and the collective karma that holds us back. Today, in this journey, let's bring ourselves into the experience. We are going through about 27 different dimensions of healing processes through the 7 elements. Let's utilize this experience within us, and then in the practical sense of realities, align yourself. Our journey is the now, and the now is our eternity. In other words, what we are learning now, we will continuously use it. Our healing is not just now, but it is eternal in our journey. As we journey further and further, we amplify our healing. Karma is something that we are going to be needing to work on and on. And as we move further and further into light, there are different layers of karma from different dimensions of time. And yet, in timelessness, we are able to dissolve time and then be the time of timelessness, be the destiny of being Lord Shiva. So, divine beings, first, let's go into the initiation of the mantra. Om Namah Shivaya. Let's hold this mantra and let's utilize this mantra, Om Namah Shivaya mantra, through the entire process of our journey through the seven elements. Om three times. Ah three times. Om Namah Shivaya from inside ourselves. Om. 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 Namah Shivaya. Om. Namah Shivaya. Om 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 Namah Shivaya. So we go back to the story of Guru Ayya. So, having heard Guru Ayya's answer, I left to Tiruvannamalai, climbed up the mountain. But this time when I climbed up the mountain, there were over 80 to 100 persons, all wanting to see Guru Ayya. So as I climbed up the mountain, after we reach Ayya, they open the canopy, and for just 2 hours, Ayya spends time with all who seek him. And so here we were, all of us together. And that one day, Guru Ayya was particularly seeming to be frustrated and angry with the world. He took a stick and he's hitting the floor, the mud, hitting the earth, saying, oh, now Guru Ayya was in the Kechari Mudra mode. Kechari Mudra is an advanced form of yoga. You take your tongue, let it go backwards, beyond. Now, when your tongue has gone up, you are now receiving the cosmic nectars of rejuvenation, the cosmic nectars from the unions of the physical, which is your tongue going upwards. So when Ayya spoke, you could not understand him, but his helpers could. And at that point in time, his helper was mentioning to me, Ayya is so angry, and he says, all you people have come to see me, but you come to see me for something you need. And just then the helper said, Ayya says, there's only one person in the whole of the circle of all you guys who's come to see me just for me. And he points me out and calls me inside his cave. And there I am, one-on-one with him. And he puts his sacred Nama over here. And that's when I felt Guru Ayya come inside me. and be with me and journey into Mahasivaratri together. So let's go into the mantra Om Namah Shivaya. Feel Guru Ayya's presence with us. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. The continuation of the story is of me receiving my name, Nandi. The temple behind you see is from where Guru Ayya guided me to go and meet and connect with Adi Gurunada Muruga, the cosmic sun, the ancient Guru, the Adi Guru, who gave me the name Nandiji in my book, Mastery of Consciousness. So now, divine beings, bring ourselves into the form we are, the physical, the mental, the spiritual. Now, understand that we are tapas, the ancient sacred fires at all times, including when we are asleep, we are constantly expanding ourselves. At all times, we are evolving dynamically. We are constantly evolving from the human to the divine, divinity within its states. The Turiya states is said to have 1,808 numbers of realms of progress, going closer and closer to becoming goddess, God, infinity, source, named, nameless, Lord Shiva. So as we journey through, we are utilizing the 7 elements to work it through. So feel the body, feel earth from beneath your feet, from beneath yourself, and feel earth and the body be one. Let's say the mantra. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Now, every day when we walk, say the mantra as we walk. Our feet connected to earth allows us to dissolve karma. The reasons we do pilgrimages, especially by walk, is to dissolve away all of the karmic imprints. So imagine ourselves walking towards light. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. The second is food. Before we have our food, always imagine and if possible, affect it. Feed the others. Think. Let all of life be fed early in the morning. In nearly all households, especially in villages in India, we take rice flour and create the beautiful geometries, the yantras called kolam at the front of a house to feed the ants, the first act of dharma. Now, imagine before we eat our food, let all be fed. One of the surest ways of negating all of the past in its trauma, in its poverty, in its painfulness of relationships starts with feeding the hungry, feeding the stomachs of the hungry. So let's imagine ourselves having fed everyone. Let's imagine ourselves constantly being able to feed and support all of humanity and all of life. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Another powerful process, especially for relationships, where relationships have ended up in misunderstanding. And for all the future relationships to come from a higher vibration is to walk around a tree. When you walk around a tree, just as the way the tree breathes in what we exhale as carbon dioxide and breathes out the oxygen, likewise is the tree taking away all karmic imprints of relationships and giving us the happiness of relationships of all around us. So start with thinking of your mother and father, and then all around us, our friends, our close circle, our family, and humanity as family. And let's imagine ourselves walking around a tree saying the mantra. Om Namah Shivaya. 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 Our palms just receive the blessings. The next is fruits by itself represent earth. And every time we are going to have a fruit, say thank you, thank you, thank you to the divine. Thank you for satisfying the human. Thank you for satisfying the fruit of the spirit of whom we are. Feel gratefulness. Work with the body, the mind, and the spirit that we are. Every time we have a fruit, feel the gratitude. Let's say the mantra. Feel the mantra Om Namah Shivaya come into us through a taste buds. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. when we go to a temple or any place, any shrine, we are going there for two basics. One, to surrender everything that we call I, and two, to receive, being the light, the we. Now, imagine ourselves with the beautiful light of being, the pillar of light, Lord Shiva. So, what are we doing? We are doing the parikrama. Parikrama is to walk around clockwise, go around clockwise. Imagine ourselves doing the Anga Pradakshanam. Anga is the body, Pradakshanam is parikrama, to walk around. Anga Pradakshanam is to lay down and surrender the body, surrender the mind, surrender the spirit, surrender everything to Lord Shiva. So when we are saying this mantra now, let's imagine ourselves letting go of everything to the light. Om Namah Shivaya. 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 And receive the blessings. Now comes the single most important element, water, fluidity. It starts with all our relationships. But even before we get into relationships, it is our own energy that needs purification. So, every day we are given the opportunity to renew ourselves, to let go of the past, to step out of the karmic imprints, and that is through shower. So, when we take a shower, think of your guru. Gurus, go around yourself 11 times underneath the shower, preferably room temperature, knowing it will be challenging for those in the higher altitudes. Reduce the temperature if you wish, in the sense lukewarm, whichever way. The most important is to go underneath the water, preferably cold water, and imagine ourselves receiving the baptism from our Guru. When you lift your armpit, we are letting go of this birth's karma that we've accrued. Behind, at the tailbone end of the spine, are relationship karmas. Allow for purification. Allow for all relationships to be reset. Allow for all future relationships to be generated from higher wisdom. So let's imagine ourselves taking the shower. Let's say the Om Namah Shivaya mantra 11 times. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Namah Maya. Om 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 Namah Maya. Welcome the new you emerging out of the cleansing as the spirit in the human experience. The next is relationships, especially with water. So when you're working with the sacred water, let all the relationships transform itself to greater, deeper understanding, to become love. So, especially in the shower, forgive and be forgiven. Every one of us in the human experience, knowingly and unknowingly in many ways, have built up karma, built up wrong perspectives of us, or from others being hurt because of us. Forgive. Forgive in all sense and be forgiven. So when you say the mantra, let's go into that, into every relationship. But before we get into every relationship, first, your mother and father and all the siblings you've been birthed with, and all around us with whom we are connected by thought as family, and all of humanity. Om Namah Maya. Om Namah Maya. Om Namah Maya. Om Namah Maya. Welcome the new of relationships, the goodness of each. The third element within water is when you drink water, preferably drink it warm, but anytime we're drinking water, pray, please flow like the river. Please always cleanse and bring in the new. Let every moment of ours be the flow. Let us glide in wisdom. That's accrued dharma that negates and transforms karma. Imagine ourselves drinking water and connecting to the water element. Om Namah Maya. 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 Rub our palms together to receive the blessings. Now we come into the element of fire. The third element, fire, is that which sits right in the middle of being human and having the spiritual experience. So, light our lamp at least once a day. Through Mahasivratri time, it's okay to keep the lamp burning 24 hours, all night in morning, afternoon, evening, night. Now, when we light a lamp or candle, know that we are in the moment allowing the sacred fires to burn away our karma, to erase the human impediments we face in all its forms. So let's light a lamp. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Now, if we choose to create a yagna, the sacred fires, utilize rice, um, rice grains, uncooked rice grains, mix it with turmeric, and use each grain as your offering. Or flower petals, take each petal and offer for each offering of a mantra. Now imagine ourselves in the yagna with the sacred fires. Om Namah Shivaya. 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 This is when we experience the mantra itself as the sacred fires. Tapas means being on fire. Through the Mahasivratri experience of us going within, we must all be experiencing the mantra fires. So in this fire is where all of the sacred unions are. So let's go into the mantra fire. Om Namah Shivaya. 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 The fifth is to know the inner sun. We understand the inner sun from the states of being the infinite, vast void that holds all the billions and billions and billions of galaxies. Maybe all the billions of galaxies are going around the inner sun. Maybe our galaxy is going around the inner sun. But that inner sun of infinite trillions and trillions of light years is within ourselves, the sacred fire element. So let's be one with Lord Shiva. Om Namah Shivaya. 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 Then comes the element of earth. The element of earth is breath itself. Breath is our guru. When we are confined in the existence and experience that is from the karmic imprints, it is breath that can take us beyond all of this. It is air, the element of air, that ultimately is able to transcend the mind. So when you say the mantra, be aware of breath and air and prana within all of this. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Now, within breath is prana. This is the prana that allows us to go within. And when we go within, we receive the inner realization, the wisdom from within. So when you're saying the mantra, go to breath and go to the breath beyond breath, and from prana reside in the cosmic womb within ourselves. And we come to the element of space, the infinite void space that holds all and everything. So when we offer flowers to our altar, to the divine, it represents Akash. It represents infinity. Now, let's offer flowers. Let's make an offering to the light within ourselves. Om Namah Shivaya, 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 Om Namah Shivaya. This infinite space on the external is truly infinite, never ending. Likewise is when you go inward into ourselves. As much as we see the infinity from outside is the infinity from within ourselves. Within ourselves is the states of samadhi, being in the cosmic womb. So once we come here, we are literally going through our death process and rebirthing and rebirthing and rebirthing. Each time we're coming out, rebirthed a million times greater. So when you're saying the mantra, let ourselves go inwards and rebirth, inwards and rebirth, inwards and rebirth. Om Namah Shivaya, 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 Om Namah Shivaya. And the third dimension in space is being the dancer, being Nataraja, being Lord Shiva, being everything. So condense the infinite external and the infinite within as one. Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. Now we come to the element of the sun, the sixth element. In the sixth element of the sun is where we are given the ultimate gift, and that is existence itself, our life experience, our every moment in breath is with the sun. So let's work the sun energy, visualizing the sun from the root chakra onwards. And as we climb up, through each chakra, cleanse all of that reality around that particular chakra. The root chakra starts with family, relationships, prosperity, survival, everything that basically means to us as in the human reality is from the root chakra. So when you're saying the mantra, go within into the sun. Om Namah Shivaya, 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 Om Namah Shivaya. Now let's pay particular attention to relationships around us from the roots. Whoever we are wanting to bring into that particular light, know that our light exists in them. So allow our light to amplify and bring to love, bring to vibrancy, bring to forgiveness. Be forgiven to anyone, all of now and the future and the past to dissolve in that light. Om Namah Shivaya, 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 Om Namah Shivaya. Now come up above the navel. Feel the presence of all our gurus, all the masters, all the enlightened beings, all of the sages, all of the divinity, all of the divine. Up above the navel, the guru. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. Bring it up above the solar plexus and the heart chakra. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. And the heart chakra transform from we in the emotional states of loving to becoming and being love. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. Come up to the throat chakra where all the karmic trauma, all of experiences, all of our past lives are stored in the throat chakra. We're utilizing the sunlight to negate, dissolve, transform all of our karma from the throat chakra. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. Now we come to the crown chakra. The moment we come to the crown chakra, we switch the light on. We are the light. So be the pillar of light. Om Namah Shivaya, 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 Om Namah Shivaya. Come into the third eye, the meeting point of all of light in our awareness. Om Namah Shivaya, 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 Om Namah Shivaya. Press the left big toe down, take a deep inhale, and this is the seventh element, which is the moon element, the left breath, the moon breath. Goddess Shakti and Lord Shiva coming together. This is the seventh element, the moon. Take a deep inhale, exhale slowly, feeling the calm, beautiful mind as the moon. The epicenter of ourselves is the moon. Here, let's begin with Ho'oponopono. Let's begin with Ho'oponopono. To all relationships, start with I have done whatever I have done of my past. knowingly and unknowingly, in this lifetime and all the lifetimes, to each being we are in existence with. I am sorry. I am sorry. I am sorry. Forgive me. Om Namah Maya. 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 Feel ourselves forgiven. Feel the gratefulness of being forgiven. Feel the gratefulness of all of the past forgiving us, and all of the present welcoming us to be ourselves, and all of the future allowing ourselves to be the light being, the Dharma, the form of Dharma. Om Namah Maya. 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 Now, feel the love of being forgiven. Feel the love we are receiving from everyone. Feel the higher vibrant love of every relationship around us. Om Namah Maya. Feel the love and light and vibrancies of higher vibrancies of every being around us. Om Namah Maya. Om Namah Maya. Om Namah Maya. Now, the states of Turiya is the states beyond the mind. In the states of Turiya, we have lived several lifetimes and lifetimes and lifetimes. Through all these lifetimes, we are the higher vibrancies constantly lifting the mind to a higher place. So let's be the states of Turiya. Om Namah Maya. Om Namah Maya. Having reached a place where we are in the knowing, we know the law of karma and we know the law of dharma and the life secret of being the form of dharma. So let this form of dharma attain its eternal identity and beingness. Om Namah Maya. Om Namah Maya. Om Namah Maya. Om Namah Maya. Now that we are higher frequency, put a hand like this and think of all the relationships we have around us. Think of all the predicaments we have around us. Let it all be healed. Let it all be aligned to a higher vibrancy. Om Namah Maya. 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 The moon represents the mind itself. When we have a clear mind that is able to make the optimal decisions with intuitive intelligence, with empowered intellect, and with the right knowledge, we are leaders. We lead. Lord Muruga, the son, the child of God, is called the leader because that's the blessings we are. So let's welcome the blessings. Om Namah Maya. Om Namah Maya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Now understand that we are eternal beings here in this human lifetime. And in this human lifetime, let us know why we are here. Let us complete our purpose here. Let us know our highest purpose. So each moment of ours is inspired and awake and awakening all our potentials. Om Namah Shivaya, 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 Om Namah Shivaya. And the final element is all of the light needs be experienced through the divine goddess, bringing goddess Shakti and Lord Shiva together, creating realities of magnificence. And the moon represents the goddess. So, as we chant the mantra, feel the moon settle into our third eye forever and ever. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. With these 7 elements, let the wheels of a constant multiplications, multiplying ourselves as in divinity, be. Let our human experience be that of love, that fulfills all responsibilities, that which nurtures the next generation, that which uplifts humanity to its angelic identity, that which enhances every human, every life, that which completes us and makes us whole as the inner sun. Let's say the mantra again and be the blessings. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Be the blessing. So, divine beings, looking forward to a journey into Mahashivratri as one, as we transcend for, uh, uh, for to receive the details of the journey. So you are able to practice this in a journey we took. Kindly sign on to our podia, and as we journey towards light, let's uplift realities for all the living, for our beautiful planet, Mother Earth, and within each of our lives, let there be fulfillment, love, and joy. Om Namah Shivaya. Om.